Hi there. Well, my wife and I have been Amway business owners for over 30 years, and we thought we'd blog occasionally about some of the experiences we've had with Amway over that time, because sometimes we hear negative things said about the company and our business, much of which is completely erroneous, some downright scurrilous. And this saddens us because Amway is so very close to our hearts. Now, the decision to do this blog and podcast was triggered when a customer came to our house to pick up some products, and I started to talk to him about the exciting developments in e-commerce and major worldwide trends of which Amway business owners are uniquely positioned to take advantage, and he replied, no thank you, I know all about the Amway business. And I was reminded of something Albert Einstein had said: anybody can know. The point is to understand. Now, Amway Global have been pioneers of the concept of compassionate capitalism for over 60 years. Therefore, through this blog, we can hopefully share some of our personal experiences, correct some misconceptions, and maybe offer some insights into the Amway business opportunity and its profundities that are not immediately apparent at first sight. There's more to an Amway business than meets the eye. It's been quite a journey, and my wife and I have enjoyed taking the road less travelled. Hi there. Well, here we are again, and this episode we're going to call Amway, Nutrilite and Pecatal compassionate capitalism at its best. And another quote from Rich DeVos. We always start with a quote from Rich. He says that compassionate capitalism is not about making money, but about being free to be and do what we dream. Well, one of the best examples of Rich DeVos and J. Van Andel's philosophy of compassionate capitalism can be seen in the operations at Nutrilite's organic farm in El Pecatal, Mexico. Now, Nutrilite was founded 85 years ago when it launched the world's first multivitamin multimineral, XX. Well, today Nutrilite has certified organic farms around the world, all based upon Nutrilite founder Carl Rehnborg's philosophy that to obtain the full nutritional content of a fruit or vegetable has to be grown according to the strictest organic criteria, and the whole fruit or vegetable had to be eaten, including the parts we often throw away, the skin, pips, peel, pith and so forth. And on top of that, the farm itself had to be considered a living being, an essential part of the surrounding communities, with the object of ecologically achieving the perfect balance. Now, Carl Rehnborg, Nutrilite founder, said, "Take care of the land, take care of the people." Now, Nutrilite's farm in Mexico, El Pecatal, set up 30 years ago now, is a shining example of what happens when Carl Rehnborg's principles and Amway co-founder Rich DeVos's and J. Van Andel's philosophy of compassionate capitalism combine. As with Nutrilite's other farms, El Pecatal is situated in a remote, pristine area reached from the nearest road along a 10-mile dirt track, ensuring there is no contamination from any vehicles or industrial activity. Even planes are not allowed to fly overhead. El Pecatal was selected from several communities in this impoverished area, being one of the smallest and most deprived, and therefore the one where Amway and Nutrilite could make the biggest difference. 28 years ago, there were just 65 houses there. There was no water, electricity or drinking water. Most of the men had left to work in the cities, so Nutrilite embarked upon one of its good citizenship programs. Homes were built for employees who lived too far away, and coaches transport the rest in. Being an impoverished community with few employment opportunities, there tended to be a lack of purpose, low self-esteem and alcohol-drug-related problems. So Nutrilite instituted full-scale educational programs ranging from literacy down to even how to send emails and clean the teeth. Mothers were taught about nutrition, hygiene, healthy eating habits, and invited to cooking lessons. A school was set up and free access given to medical and dental care. Well, today that program has spread to a total of 12 local communities. Initially focusing on children and organising sports and cultural events for teenagers to wean them away from damaging influences to which they may be subject, they realised a big factor in the children being happy with whether or not their parents were happy. 35% of the employees are women, And to encourage them to see beyond a television-oriented home life, Amway and Nutrilite have therefore provided training programs in such things as painting, dancing, dressmaking and handicrafts. A shop for their creative efforts has been opened, which ABOs visiting the farm can buy, with half the proceeds going to the women and half to the purchase of new materials. Starting with just about 20 employees, there are now over 490 workers there, each known proudly as an inspector, with responsibility for maintaining Nutrilite's rigorous organic standards. For example, 1 million kilograms of spinach are harvested each year, and that equates to 3 million handfuls. Not wishing to espouse mechanization for this role, each spinach plant is taken from the soil by hand. And the inspectors take personal responsibility for visually confirming the quality of each plant they remove. Each plant is then also hand washed. Often having had to change their behavioural patterns and outlook to conform to Nutrilite standards, the staff or inspectors now have responsibilities that have enhanced their self-esteem, given them a sense of pride and achievement. The staff have great loyalty to the company. There's less than 1% turnover, and many who left over the years for greener pastures have returned, realising that they're able to work and live close to their families and are respected in ways that they aren't in the conventional working environment. They're healthier and have a sense of purpose. Now, one reason why there is such loyalty is illustrated by the way the corporation dealt with COVID-19. 57 employees who tested positive for COVID-19 were sent home for 14 months on full pay. They were eager to return, of course, and when they did, they had even greater loyalty to the company than ever. General Farm Manager Gerardo Gordillo Sobrino is clearly as passionate about the social impact his company is having on his fellow citizens as he is about maintaining the integrity of his farm. We all take care of each other, he says. Now, two stories we really like are that a poorly educated father and his son studied together at the farm and then went at Amway's expense to college together, and they actually graduated together. The other story is that most of the crops grown at El Pecatal are seasonal, so there's not necessarily work available all year round. Therefore, Amway and Nutrilite have made arrangements for some of their workers to have US visas so that during the off-season they can fly to another of Nutrilite's farms in Washington State, work there, and are therefore able to support their families all year long. These are real-life examples of how Amway and Nutrilite are more than just businesses. Developing people, uniting families, caring for the children as well as the farms are part of their fabric, as witnessed by their Power 5 campaign, in which El Pecatal also plays a major role. Now, the most formative years for a child are the first 5, particularly with regards to their nutritional intake. Over 3 million children a year die of malnutrition, and 155 million are stunted or undernourished. Therefore, following WHO guidelines and working with more than 25 humanitarian and governmental organisations around the world, Nutrilite has devised a nutritional programme for children under the age of 5 called the Power 5, whereby a carefully calibrated food supplement containing 15 essential vitamins and nutrients called Little Bits is provided free to hundreds of thousands of children currently in 15 countries. 500,000 Amway employees and ABOs themselves have contributed their time to its success. Nutrilite does not just give these away at random, but gives each child a medical check and then monitors their progress in a long-term and ongoing program. Not many people know that, but from its inception, Amway has always been a people business, not dependent upon sales but upon leadership, from which sales can inevitably follow. Can leadership qualities be taught, or are we born with them? Well, our opinion is that it depends upon what sort of leadership is required. If it's to lead an army into battle, that's probably a trait of character to be born with. But if it is to want to make a difference and leave a lasting impact on society, and someone's prepared to adopt a teachable heart and embark upon a lifelong course of personal development, Then, following Rich's observation, you can never demand respect, you can only earn respect, and you can only earn respect when you show respect, then the answer is yes. Anybody can be a leader in the Amway business. And the Amway business opportunity is a perfect example of how our own lives and the lives of those around us can be improved when all parties concerned act in good faith towards each other, at the same time having due respect for the needs of Mother Earth. Well, that's all this time round. We'll be back again soon with more examples of Amway and compassionate capitalism. Meanwhile, we'll leave you with Rich's legendary words, "You can do it, love you," and we look forward to seeing you guys on the beaches of the world. Bye.